What's up, guys, and welcome back to Project Z Garage. Today we're going to be working on the front suspension on the F150. I'm going to break this up into 3 videos: upper control arms, lower control arms, and the upgraded shocks. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up our install of the upper control arm. These are aftermarket ones. They gave us a hard time going in. It was not easy, but we did get them in. Alright guys, so we're going to work on taking off this upper control arm. This nut here is a 27mm. No, it's not.
13/16 or 21?
21 or 13/16. So we got that loose already. We sprayed it with some WD-40. Always spray all these parts down with WD-40, so it'll be a little easier to come out. Let's see what size is. That's too big. It's gotta be 13.
Same thing.
Alright, so all these nuts here on the upper arm are either 21 or 13/16. 13/16 is definitely tighter, so I would go with 13/16. Like, this is exact. Yeah, so you might need to hold something on the inside of the nut on the inside here if it spins, or you could do a deep socket. You might get a deep socket on this side. You might have to take off these under tray, but we're just gonna flex it up and get it out by hand, so it's not too many turns for that one. Some people could get it out without taking out the shock. We are going to be upgrading the shock and the lower control arm, so that's not going to be a problem. But if you're going to try to just change this arm without taking anything else out, you might need a really long pry bar to help move these springs around to slide the bolts out. I've seen people be able to do it. It's a little finicky, but you are able to do it. So we're gonna work on loosening all of these, and then we're gonna continue the video. Also, you might need to put either a socket on this if you still have a good connection here, but I usually use a vice grip on this, but I forgot what the size is. This is like a 10 or... Alright guys, so if you look down here, we got the upper mount off. We removed the shock just so you guys can see. This bolt comes in from the inside out like this. So in other videos I've seen people, you know, articulate the spring so that they could get this out, but the best way to do it is to remove the coilover or the spring and strut altogether so that you have room to take this out. We're putting the new one in. Oh, give me the hammer.
Excuse me, what do you need?
The hammer?
Mallet?
Yeah, the mallet. Get this, that should be on the outside. These things flex, so you might need a mallet to get them in. So let's get this to flex in. There we go. Alright guys, so I just kept shaking it and we were able to get the nut through. It's very tight. These are aftermarket, and hopefully they are better than stock, but they were very tight to get in, and you have to put them from the inside out. Make sure you don't crush anything. That's important. A lot of wires and things here. Well, we got them in. looks good. These also have a grease fitting at the bottom of them that we can grease them. So that's good. I'll take these off. Now these nuts here on each side have to be torqued to 111 foot-pounds. You kind of want to do this at ride height. For a lot of suspension parts, you want to be ride height when you tighten it, just so that the bushings don't get damaged. If you have the suspension too low or too high, because when you torque it down, then it's extra wear on those bushings. So once everything is kind of level, we'll put a jack under the lower control arm to kind of simulate what ride height would be, and then we'll torque these two nuts on each side to 111 foot-pounds. And I believe this front one is like 86 foot-pounds from that to the knuckle. So yep, pretty much we'll do that, and we'll continue after that. Whew. All right guys, so we're just gonna hand tighten this up, and then we're gonna get our torque gun out, and we're gonna get that up to, I believe it's 86 foot-pounds. So we're gonna get this to ride height, which it kind of is at now. We have a jack under it, under the lower control arm. So that's hand tight, and then we're gonna put the torque gun on it, and that's gonna be 86 foot-pounds. The lower shock nut has to go to 410 foot-pounds, and the nuts on top of the shock are gonna be 30 foot-pounds on each of those. Alright guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap up our install of the upper control arm. These are aftermarket ones. They gave us a hard time going in. It was not easy, but we did get them in. We had to put a good amount of grease in them through those nipples that you see on each side where the bushings are, and that's really necessary so you don't have any binding in your suspension once you're done. I don't know if I can recommend these. These were some cheap aftermarket ones that we wanted to get right away so we can get this install done. But I'll definitely get back to you guys once we get a couple weeks or months on them where they can settle in and see if we like them or if we don't. Again guys, thank you so much for the support. Like always, like, share, and subscribe. And in the next video, we're gonna start working on putting in the rough country leveling struts. Alright guys, take it easy.